Well, Gaffer, a trip to Gillingham on Saturday. Hopefully the weather will be a little bit better than it is today for the supporters behind that goal, but a good place to try and get back on track.
Well, we're looking forward to it. You know, we had a performance that was clearly not us last Saturday. And whilst I say that, I also have to say there was there much in the game last Saturday. I think it was two good teams that concentrated more in trying to win a battle rather than play a football match. And I think therefore there's a lack of quality from both teams. But Portsmouth took advantage of a couple of errors that we make. We don't take advantage of a couple of errors they make, and therefore they narrowly win the game. But we look in, not out. We don't look at opposition. We look at ourselves first. So we have to be much better when we go to Gillingham because, you know, when you break their squad down, they've got good players, a manager that I respect and got a lot of time for, and I don't think there's any hidden secret of an outstanding relationship with the chairman down there.
In terms of this week, in terms of preparation, you had a game on Monday, and that was a good opportunity again to get minutes into the legs. And people that even came on Saturday got 90 minutes under their belt. That's important. That's something you said at the start of the season. If they're not starting the game, they need to make sure they get minutes in the bank.
And it's the same next week. You know, we've got a game here at the training ground again on Monday. So it's massively important that lads are ready to play. It's massively important that when you're asking them to make a contribution that they're match fit. And I think we've seen in recent weeks, it's been the substitutes bench that's turned games for us and got us points. You know, we can go far back as Charlton, we can go, you know, Doncaster, we can go Southend, where it's been the substitutes bench that's delivered for us. And that's because players are ready to play. And I've said it before, I hope it continues long after I'm gone, that players have to play reserve fixtures, they have to play in training ground games. They're not excused, they've been excused here for the last 2 or 3 years. It's just not thinkable why it was allowed to happen, but it did. And everyone has different options of how they get the players match fit. What we have said is that some of those players have put themselves in contention. Good performances against Oxford when we played at the stadium, just nearly 2 weeks ago now. And of course down at MK Dons on Monday, and obviously substitute appearances in between. So there's players that's given themselves a real chance.
And the pleasing thing for you, I guess, as a manager, it's not just their performances, but their attitude and wanting to go out there and put a performance in. Because as you say, in previous years, it may be the attitude as well as performance that's let them down in reserve team games.
Any football in the world is hopeless without a good attitude. You look at the best footballers in the world, and I've been very privileged that I've sat in many of the offices, or I've been on many courses, or many times out to dinner with some of the world's best managers or head coaches, and they've always spoke about the attitude of the top players. I can remember speaking to the manager at Real Madrid when I was on my UEFA Pro licence, and he spoke about the attitude of when Cristiano Ronaldo, and I know he's gone off last night, but his attitude to be better, his attitude to train properly every day, his attitude to win, his attitude to win the Ballon d'Or, his attitude to help win La Liga, his attitude to win a Champions League, made him such an outstanding footballer. Is Messi any different? I hear the same when I was talking to Pep Guardiola about how hard he worked. So football is about attitude in terms of breaking it all down. So we need, 14 players who'll take the pitch at Gillingham with the right attitude.
In terms of team selection and injuries, obviously Callum Cook got minutes under his belt this week. Jason Cummings came off quite early on in the second half last week. Was that injury or just down to a change in tact?
I think it was a bit of both. We didn't think Jason was effective anyway, even before he got a dead leg, but he's recovered from that now. He trained on Tuesday and yesterday, so yeah, he's back on the availability sheet, so that's good. Callum Cook played at MK Dons on Monday and was very good, probably more like the Callum Cook we signed that we know, and whether he was carrying a lot or not before, we don't know. It was a pretty horrendous challenge in the MK Dons down there before in the Checkatrade game, so but he's overcome that and went and was very good. So we've got good options within the whole squad, and we'll go to Gillingham. We'll try and do what we've done the last 4 away games.
And just finally a word on Mate Stevens. I know he scored a hat-trick last week out on loan. You brought him back into the group for the game on Monday, and I think he scored a double on Monday as well. Great to see him doing so well, and important for you to see him at close quarters as well. No,
we're going to keep doing it with all our players that get on loan. They come back and they play in the 23s fixtures, providing, of course, the club they're on loan to doesn't have a midweek fixture. That's part of the agreement when we send them out, that we do that, because we have to keep track of these. But I've never hidden the fact that I think Matty Stevens will be a striker scoring goals for Posh going forward. The kid hardly had a minute of football last season. He did very well for us in pre-season. He had a little lapse which we expected him to do, because if you've been out for a while, you come back, normally you're fresh and hungry and you're eager, and then it goes a little bit. but he's gone down to Slough. He got a magnificent hat-trick in the week, proper hat-trick as well, so it was good to see. Gets 2 in the game down at Southend. He's very focused. He's loving being here. He knows why he's going to Slough till January, and then we'll have a look at what we need in January. And if we're needing somebody like a Matty Stevens, he'll be straight back in the door. And listen, we see the kid. He's in here 2 or 3 times every week, and he trains with 2 or 3 times every week. He's a terrific lad, breaking it all down. He's a good kid.